best when I'm in front of a crowd. And before you freak out and call me crazy, let me explain. I would like to say that dance is the starting point for the love of this atmosphere. I have been dancing for almost 14 years, and it's made it so even if I'm performing on stage or speaking in front of the group, one of the places that I feel I'm at my best. The winter of 2024, when I took one of the biggest leaps for my dance career and competed nationally, is a time that I feel I was at my best. So like most people in our town, when I was young, I did Dancing Dragons, and I had an instructor that at the time I thought really hated me because she was so strict to me, so rough. She always picked me out of the group, and looking back as a 16-year-old now, I realized she was my biggest supporter, and there's a reason why she was so rough on me, because she really saw like that I could go places. And like all good things come to an end, and she ended up unexpectedly moving away, and I jumped from over 5 more instructors and couldn't find anybody that really had like the same passion to help me, and I was just stuck in place. Like from like the ages 7 to 10, I wasn't getting any improvement, and that's not really a good sign. So I asked my mom if I could possibly join a studio. So we looked all around Minnesota and went through like around 20 studios looking for the best one, and we ended up finding the Main Point School of Dance in Wilmer. And my first day going to the studio came, and I've honestly never been more nervous in my life. I would be dancing with girls I'd never met in my life, instructors that I'd never seen before. I was just scared not to be good enough because it was a new environment, and I had been held back previously. I ended up walking through the double doors into this beautiful studio because I've been dancing in a gym my whole life, and there's mirrors everywhere and ballet bars, and I felt so lucky. A young woman with black hair walked up to me and introduced herself as Miss Naomi, and she's now my instructor. I knew from the moment I met her that she was super kind and she was gonna be helpful, but I doubted that she'd be able to teach with how sweet she was, because my first instructor was really rough on me, and that's kind of how I was raised in a dance environment, was just like being rough, and that was the best way that I learned. We ended up sitting in a circle, kind of introducing ourselves, and then she asked us to go to bar to warm up for ballet. I haven't taken a ballet class in over 2 years, and I lacked most of the equipment for a normal ballet class, and this girl named Ellivia walked up to me and asked me what my favorite bar spot was, and I looked at her in disbelief, not knowing what it was. Turns out you weren't supposed to use a wall for ballet, and there's this just specific bar you can use that's more appropriate for ballet, and I made it super easy. I picked the very far end to the right, and to this day it's my favorite spot, and it kind of just shows like the beginning of my career. I took a 45-minute class, and it was only intermediate, and that's the most I've learned in like 7 years previously I'd taken for dance. So it kind of showed how much I was limiting myself to, and showed like how much improvement I was gonna be able to see in the future. 2 years go by, and I'm still in all intermediate classes when my teacher lets me know she thinks I'm ready for all advanced classes. I was super flattered, but I was also super scared because I'd be the youngest in my class, and I'd be starting the cycle over again, meeting all new people, not knowing if I was gonna fit in, kind of thing, and just really nervous for how it was going to go. That summer I kind of built up the confidence to be able to join all advanced classes, and I walked through those double doors again, and this super bubbly girl named Ellivia walked up to me and introduced herself. She let me know she was from Wilmer Senior High, and asked me kind of like what my favorite style of dance was, and she was really nice and like helped me kind of like start like the environment that I have with my team now, and just kind of like helped me fit in. So I'm super thankful for her, and I ended up having a duet with her years later. All the advanced classes were even more up my alley than I thought they would be, and it just kept on showing me how much I was limiting myself to and how much improvement I was able to make that I didn't know of. It's now the end of my 3rd season, and I'm headed to nationals for the first time ever. I'm in the middle of Minneapolis, and I walk into this huge auditorium, and it's like basically a convention. There's so many people, there's booths, there's food, and it's loud everywhere. And I'm carrying this super heavy dance bag because who knew a dance costume would weigh like 3 pounds each. I put on my costume and I get ready backstage with my team, and I'm looking at all these super talented like young women and how kind of just like jealous I am of them for how much they've been in the studio for longer than I have. But I end up like getting on stage and I'm blinded by these lights, which is really nice because once you walk on stage, you don't really know who's behind the lights until your eyes focus. There's over like 1,000 people in the room and 8 judges in front of me, and they're not supposed to look very nice, so that was kind of scary. But we ended up finishing the dance, and to sum it up, we won in our category, and that's the first time I've ever won like in my dance career, period. And it was really like showed like how much like dedication it took for me to get there, and I was just really happy I joined the studio at that moment. It's like a checkpoint in my career. But joining the Main Point Studio at Dance was like just like one of the best things I've done myself, and I've never been so thankful for what dance has done for me. It's given me the confidence and purpose I have in life. I'm Ellivia W, and this was the time I was at my best. Thank you for listening to my speech.